That's why I hate Blog Talk.
Broadcasting from Cincinnati, you're listening to the Ringside Reporter podcast. All the news from the world of boxing right here.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
Now, here's your host, Eric Lorda.
And we are live. Welcome to the Ringside Reporter Show, where we talk about the latest boxing news. If it's related to boxing, we'll talk about it here. My name is Eric Lorta, and I'm here with my co-host, Joe Habib. We got a great show for you today, and if you want to call and ask questions, it's open 323-870-3857. Let's get started with it. ESPN. Christian Mbilli versus Sergiy Derevyanchenko. Mbilli beats Derevyanchenko by decision. Scores were 100-90, 99-91, 98-92. Listen, man, Mbilli dominated this fight, man. Derevyanchenko tore his bicep around round 4, but was able to finish the fight. We all knew Derevyanchenko was tough. And yeah, that's when you tear your bicep in the 4th round and you're able to finish a 10-round fight, yeah, you're a pretty tough guy, man. I honestly, clearly it mattered and clearly it affected Derevyanchenko's, for the rest of the fight. But it didn't affect the outcome. I got to be honest here. This fight was one-sided prior to that injury. Derevyanchenko showed a lot of heart finishing the fight, but the fight was definitely one-sided. Beeb, I want to ask you, Christian Mbilli looks like the real deal here. He looks like he's developing properly. He looks like a good fighter. Does he have where does this guy go from here, and is he the real deal? I mean, can he challenge,
Bob said, this is what Bob said, because Maestro interviewed Bob, because Maestro, shout out to Maestro, he was down in Canada this weekend.
Yes.
At the card, shout out to him. And he interviewed Bob Arum. Bob Arum said that they want to have him fight one more fight, and then they're going to try and get the Canelo fight. So they're going to be shooting for the Canelo fight. And I have to be honest with you, now that David Benavidez is gone and David Morrell is gone, I think Mbilli's probably the man to challenge Canelo right now. And then Tim Bradley was like, "Oh, I don't think he's going to want any part of Mbilli." I mean, there's nobody else, I'm hearing that maybe Chris Eubank Jr. may be next for Canelo.
He's definitely a bigger name than Mbilli, but
yeah, but then Mbilli will be next. But at least Mbilli's got the machine behind him. He's got the top rank machine behind him. So
yeah,
they can help him out, push him a little bit. But Mbilli is very solid. Got a great gas tank. Great, got a lot of quick, fast twitch muscle fibers, and good foot speed, good hand speed. Mixes the shots well. Can fight on the outside, inside. Very well-rounded guy. And the big thing too is this guy never gets tired. He never gets tired. He reminds me of Jean Pascal a little bit.
Yeah.
With stamina, and he's a little bit better putting the shots together, but he just has that same the way he throws those shots, those fast, twitchy, explosive shots. But like I said, he doesn't get tired. And usually guys that are fast, twitchy like that, they tend to fade. Like remember Julian the Hawk Jackson, remember him? Guys like that they have the power, they're explosive, but they even Gerald McClellan, these guys, they would fade,
Yeah.
But this guy does not fade. So that he's going to be a problem because he can keep the pressure on, and he's got a pretty decent punch. I was a little bit upset with the corner for Derevyanchenko. I thought they probably should have pulled him after maybe round 7 or 8.
He wasn't winning the fight. He wasn't
winning the fight. He was getting busted up.
Yeah.
And credit to him for hanging in there. But I'm not one to celebrate these moral victories. I hate that. I didn't. And then, I get aggravated because Robert Garcia does this too. He has the fighter in the corner. Let me know. Do you want to continue? Are you okay? Like you could see on his face that he was like kind of done. But the fight, why make the fighter have to say, I quit?
I don't know that, I don't know that that's the case, though. I'll be honest with you. I think when he asks him, he wants to see where he's at. You know what I mean? He wants to see where the fighter's at. Is the fighter enthusiastic? I'm good. Don't you dare stop this. Or is it like real lackadaisical? I don't know.
Yeah, he was a little bit lackadaisical. He, you could see him in there like he wasn't like gung-ho. I guess the thing is this, you hear it, the old cliche, you got to save the fighter from himself.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys will not stop. Like they don't want to, especially a guy
He had
like
a torn
Derevyanchenko.
bicep. He had a torn bicep.
Yeah, he had a torn bicep.
One-handed fighter.
He couldn't. He wasn't winning the fight. I think I had him winning maybe one round, if that. It could have been even a shutout, but I think I gave him one round. And his face is getting busted up. He's getting banged around there, and he's too good for he's too tough for his own good. At that point, I'm you've been doing this long enough as a trainer. You should know your fighter a little bit. It's one thing if there's not an injury present, then you can maybe ask him. But if there's an injury present, I would just pull him.
Just based on that injury alone.
Yeah. I see where you're coming from. Like if there's not an injury present and you're seeing him having a couple tough rounds, then you may be like, then you may want to know where he's at. But if you're seeing the guy laboring in there and not really being able to throw his punt, throw the jab or whatever. What was it? Was his lead hand, right? That he hurt? I think
his left bicep, I believe. Yeah, left
bicep. Yeah. Okay. So maybe, yeah. So he was in there. So he was hurting. So I would have pulled him. I would have pulled him at least in the like after round 8 at least. But it's my opinion.
AI Money just became a new YouTube member. Thank you so much, AI Money. We appreciate it. We appreciate the support from all you guys. Let's talk about so what is next for Derevyanchenko? I mean, Derevyanchenko is one of those guys that we knew was tough. We knew was going to be a tough out for anybody that fights him. He always is. He's like a gatekeeper now. And Billy completely walked through this guy last night. Where does he go from here?
This guy's had some hard luck in his career. I actually thought he beat Golovkin. In my mind, he should be a former champion in my mind.
Yeah.
I actually thought he beat Jacobs too. A lot of people don't think he beat Jacobs. I thought he beat Jacobs, and I thought he beat Jacobs.
Yeah, I thought he beat Jacobs.
Oh, did you think he beat Jacobs too?
Yeah.
Okay. So this guy had some tough fights. Always made a good account for himself. He'll go down probably as one of those great fighters that never became champion. There's a few of them out there.
Yeah, there's a few of those. There's a few of them
out there, and it's a shame. It's a shame. But at this point, when the body starts breaking down too, then maybe it's time to call it a day. But, as much as I say that, this guy could still give a lot of guys some run.
This guy could give a lot of people a problem. I really believe that.
It's not for me to just tell this guy to hang him up, man, because he's still, who knows how more difficult the fight would have been for Mbilli if the injury didn't occur, because he was still hanging in there with landing some good body shots, and he was landing some good hooks.
Yeah, the fight would have been tougher, no question. But I
think Mbilli would have won, but it would have been a
tougher fight. But I still think the outcome is still the same, though.
I agree.
I really, I believe it's a unanimous, and I believe Mbilli just walks this guy.
Yeah. So I like Mbilli. I think Mbilli did well last night, made a good account of himself. And who knows, though, Eric? Canelo's getting up there in age. By the time he gets to Canelo, who knows how that fight plays out? It could be, obviously Canelo will be the favorite, and it's hard to pick against Canelo at this stage, unless it's a Benavidez or a Morrell, maybe. But who knows? This could be interesting. It could be interesting.
I got to be honest. I don't know that Canelo's really. I mean, he's going to fight Edgar Berlanga.
Yeah.
Mexican Independence Day. What's after that? I mean, really, what was?
I think it's Eubank
Jr.
I think it's Eubank. Come on, I think it's Eubank next, and then I think Mbilli's after that.
So what are we doing here? Are we just you're just going the Floyd route now, and just
we are doing the farewell tour, my friend.
We're out doing the farewell tours.
This is the farewell tour. Buckle up. It's going to be a pretty fun ride, I guess.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. I think that he's, he has fought everybody, and you can't say otherwise. I mean, he's fought every contender, and he's fought them at their prime. Maybe with the exception of Triple G in that second and third fight, but everybody else, I mean, he's done what he has to do. That being said, he needs to drive. If he's in those pound for pound rankings, you need to take him out. You need to take him out as champion at 168. You know what I mean? If you're not willing to fight anybody, that's fine. You can do what you do, but there's going to be a price for that. Just my opinion.
Well, I don't think you're alone in that opinion. I'm starting to hear the rumblings from other people too.
Yeah, and I mean, you were mentioning it before the show. All the Canelo fan. Well, he's deserved. He's earned this right, and blah blah blah.
He can do whatever he wants. He can do whatever he wants.
Do whatever you want.
You got to deal with. Now you got to deal with Canelo doing whatever he wants. This is what you got now.
But now, hey, I'm just saying. All the pound for pound accolades, all those crazy belts from the WBC that you've been getting, and all that stuff's got to go by the wayside because you got to fight real opponents for that.
The Mayan belt, all those crazy belts.
And listen, I'm not saying Berlanga's not a good fighter. I'm not saying Eubank's not a good fighter. But as we always say, there's levels to this, and they're not on his level. We know that. Yeah. They're not on his level, and it's pretty obvious.
That's true.
So that's where I'm coming from with that. Co-main, Guido Vianello versus Arslanbek Makhmudov. Vianello wins by TKO over Makhmudov. The bout was stopped just before the 8th round by the doctor because of swelling in Makhmudov's left eye. It was completely shut. So Vianello wins and lives to fight another day, I guess. And so does now, as far as what's next for both of these guys, I believe they both got 2 losses pretty early. I don't know that they, I don't know. As far as where they go from here, I don't know. Where can you? It was a good listen. It was a good win for Vianello, no question. But levels. That's right. That's the story of the show today. Levels, man. I mean, look,
level up, everybody out there. You need to level up.
You had 2 good fighters in there fighting one guy, But again, can this guy elevate? I don't know. Can he go any further than what he did?
Just like your man, big baby Jared Anderson, man. Bob didn't want to put him in there.
Well, listen, man, there's a difference.
He was telling Maestro he didn't want to put him in there. He wanted, but Turkey Al-Sheikh offered him a lot of money, and he decided to go for the money, so he took the money.
Yeah, and that's what happens, man. That's what happens. Listen, man, they know. The promoters, they know. And all those matchmakers and stuff like that, they know who's going to be champion, who ain't going to be champion.
Yeah.
That's just it, man.
Some guys, they like to slow play them a little bit more than others.
Now let's talk about a winner. What I like to call a bona fide winner. Abdullah Mason versus Mike Ohan Jr. 2nd round KO for Abdullah Mason. Abdullah Mason now 15-0, 13 knockouts. Oh, you know what I want to tell you about Abdullah Mason? You know what I tell you, right? You know where he's from? Ohio. That's right. Title Town, baby. Title Town. The next big champion from the state of Ohio.
I got something in my throat.
What is that? What is that supposed to mean?
I got something in my throat.
I got something in my throat. You got on your face.
It's a diet Sprite.
Yeah,
please.
It's a dude is what it is. What's the matter with you? We're talking about Abdullah Mason. Title Town's own. He did look good.
Oh, he's good. I think
second round. I mean, he looks good. And you know what I like about him? You know what I like about Abdullah? He lets his hands go. He lets them go. A lot of guys in it, you can only a lot of Ohio fighters, I noticed this, like to hit and not get hit. Abdullah Mason comes to fight. And I think that's a big deal. And Easter was like that to a point. He was like that to a point. But Bronner, Rashid Warren, and I guess you can lump Easter in there too. He did, they don't throw a lot of punches. And I would like to see that change. But, hey, they won a lot of fights. So who knows? And that was it for the action last night. Did you catch a UFC card last night?
Remember I told you I was on the couch and I had it on. And I remember Adesanya in the ring being announced.
Yeah.
And that's the last thing I remember. I fell asleep. And I was prepared to watch it.
I caught the whole fight, man. Adesanya got submitted in the 4th round. It was a good fight, though. I mean, really good fight. It was a real good fight. But it's at like 1:00 in the morning.
I I know.
It starts at 10.
I don't know how you do it. How are you staying up? Are you drinking
Jeez.
like espresso shots? What are you doing?
Well, I slept all day today. That's what happened. You're staying up all night, and then
You love it when you text me. You text me. You watch it, or you watch it, and you get like it's like just nothing comes back because I'm dead sleep.
Because I know you're dead sleep. That's why I always tell you beforehand. That's why I would say, "Are you watching?" So we can talk about the fight. Because if you're not watching it, I don't want to ruin it.
I know. Remember we used to screw each other up before. Like we'd be like saying, "Hey, did you see that? Oh,
did you see that knockout in the 5th round?" Like no.
I'm not watching right now.
Robbie did that one time to me. He called, he texted me or something like that.
Yeah.
And he was like, and then he left a message, and it was something like, "Yeah, I don't want to spoil it for you, but you got to see what happens, and like what happens, It's like, man,
yeah. He always lets the cat out of the bag.
Yeah, exactly. But that's why every time I always text you, I'm like, "Are you watching?" first before we say anything else.
So,
man.
Is that fight worthy of a rematch, or what do you think?
No, I don't think so. I think he went to Australia, beat him. No, I thought he looked good. I thought that Izzy may have won two of the 4 rounds or whatever.
Gotcha.
Obviously they didn't count the 4th round, but that really could have been 2-1 the other way as well.
Yeah.
Now I thought Dricus did very well. He surprised me. I didn't think he was going to beat Izzy, but yeah, he sure did. And then he couldn't even on the feet. He was tagging him at some points. He was tagging Izzy at some points on the feet, but Izzy was getting the best of him on the feet. But as soon as they went to the ground, he got him right in that choke, and that was game.
Gotcha.
So yeah, man.
Look
at this. Big Texan. Hi, Joe. Looking amazing as always, and with an X. That's a kiss, right? Is that a kiss or a hug? I think the O's are the hugs, right? So,
XO is a kiss and a hug. The X is just a kiss.
Wow. So he's just kissing you. No hug, no nothing.
He's not really kissing me. He's imagining kissing
says
me.
X.
And you know what? He can keep imagining because it will never happen.
I'm just saying. Look, it says, "Hi, Joe. Looking amazing as always."
The only one
he's just kissing you.
The only lips that touch the beep are the honey dips. That's it.
Big Texan?
He's not a honey dip.
Boxing Kangaroo, I'm with you, man. I think Abdullah Mason is ready. Absolutely. Let's see here. And that was it for this weekend's action. And I hate to disappoint everybody out there. Next weekend's action is completely grim too. So hold on one second. Let's get to the schedule here. August 17th was last night. So we go to September 3rd. That's the next one. So there's nothing next week, but 2 weeks out, September 3rd. When is September 3rd?
The week after next, I think. All right.
Is it like a Tuesday or something?
Let me see. September 3rd is a Tuesday.
I knew you could set your watch by that, boy.
Correct.
September 3rd is a Tuesday. Wow. So September 7th will be the next weekend we have fights. So we got a 2-week break here.
Jesus.
What's going on here? What are we going to do? It's like what do they say? The dog days of summer, man. You're not lying.
We're going to have to rekindle the fantasy league that we had.
Remember how we did that in COVID?
That was COVID.
That was the worst.
It's actually fun because we let Robbie be like that. We would have like 3. We'd be the 3 judges. You, myself, and Robbie. It was hilarious.
Yeah, and then we had all the fantasy stuff and everything like that on COVID when COVID was going on.
You and Robbie always would go for the nostalgia guys, and I would always pick like the new guys.
You picked
a few new guys though. You did. You picked a few new guys. Robbie.
I was the one who picked Zab Judah over Sugar Ray Robinson.
I know, that was nuts. Wow. Robbie and I hit the floor when you did that.
And
I do like Zab. I do like Zab.
Yeah, Chicano Prophet. You could talk about Haney's fight at the fair. Did you see this?
No,
there was a video.
I heard about it, but what happened?
He just threw a punch at somebody. Like there was I think it ended up being a girl fight or something stupid, or I don't know what it was. Bro. But like he's over there and like you're a professional boxer, dude. You're throwing. What are you doing? Get out of there. Get your people under control and get them out of there. You know what I mean? Bro? Yeah, he might as well win one fight because he didn't win that Garcia fight. I'll tell you that. Might as well get a win under your belt.
He's still hearing it. He's still hearing it about that fight.
He's going to hear it for the rest of his life. He's going to hear it for the rest of his life. And you could say Garcia cheated. And listen, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
It didn't matter.
And here's the problem too, man. Didn't Amir Khan test positive for Austrian and get knocked out by Kell Brook? So obviously that shit don't work. Obviously that shit don't work. Sorry.
That's right. I forgot. We got Floyd Gotti coming up. Yeah, Floyd Gotti 3, I think. Yeah, how about that?
When's Tyson versus Jake Paul?
November?
Is it November? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Yo, he was at the press. He was in New York, and they were booing the shit out of him, and he went off on them.
Who, Jake Paul?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Jake Paul. A guy, you know where he's from, right? Titletown.
You can have him.
We can have him. Thanks.
You can have
That's
him.
wonderful. Yeah, you guys take Marvin Hagler. We'll take Jake Paul. That's beautiful.
Jake Paul. We'll take Rocky Marciano. We'll take Marvin Hagler.
Right. You know what's funny is that that Ezra Charles shirt I have. I have this picture of Ezra Charles on it or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Worn it
I remember that. Yeah.
But I was at I've had so many people come up to me recently about that shirt and say, and we're in Cincinnati. I didn't know Ezra Charles was a boxer. I'm like, there's a mural downtown.
Yeah.
The whole entire building is a picture of Ezra Charles.
You guys got some good fighters from
but it's surprising like how many people don't know who he is. Like here. That like
you got Boom Boom Mancini, you got Aaron Pryor.
Boom Boom was out of Akron. Aaron Pryor and Ezra Charles, Bronner.
Are you originally from Cincinnati?
Yeah. Yeah, I was born in Cincinnati. Yeah.
Cincinnati, yeah.
So Aaron Pryor was a big guy coming up. When I was coming up, was no longer obviously Ezra Charles, but it was Aaron Pryor.
Kelly the Ghost Pavlik too, but not Cincinnati. Where's he from?
He was from Youngstown. I believe he's from Youngstown as well, just like Mancini.
Him and Mancini from Youngstown, yeah.
Yep. And a lot of people from Cleveland, a lot of Porters from Cleveland. Actually, Porters from Las Vegas.
You disown Porter, right? Because once he left, he was done.
He was done. He never claims that he's back here. You're in my backyard. Like you live in Ohio, son. You're from Ohio. That's your backyard. Now he doesn't claim it. So we don't claim it.
You don't claim it.
We don't claim
it. What about LeBron James? You still claim LeBron James?
Yeah, we claim LeBron James. Listen, man. LeBron came in here, played for the Cavaliers, came back, played for the Cavaliers again, won a title. You can do anything you want now. Title in Title Town.
Do you know he owns part of the Boston Red Sox? He's like a minority owner.
That's what I heard. Yeah, he owns some.
And he's getting ready to buy a piece of the Boston Celtics. They're saying too.
What is up with him in Boston? I wonder.
And you know what? He hates Boston too. He said we have the most racist city in the country. He hates us.
So what? You're owning the baseball team. You can own a basketball team.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Make the money.
Yeah. Right.
What are you gonna do?
Boston's a racist town. What is that? Yeah. What a douche. Yeah, I don't always agree with everything he says, but
one thing I didn't like either, like when the kid wanted to take a picture and he kind of stop.
Yeah,
stop.
Did you see that? Did you see that?
That bothered me, man. I don't know.
But you know what though? Like Jordan, I heard Jordan's the same way. I heard Jordan is a complete.
You know what's funny? Someone put that post on Twitter, and another post was left with Shaq, because Shaq was in, I think, Japan or something. I can't remember if it was Japan, but he was like at an event, and this little kid ran up and grabbed his leg and started hugging his leg, and like the security kind of like pulled him away. It wasn't rough or anything with him. He kind of pulled away, and then Shaq's like, and he pulled the kid back, and he picked the kid up, and he hugged him, and he took a picture with him, and like Shaq is the best. He is.
I did see that.
Like I heard stories of Shaq leaving like $5,000 tips for people, buying people cars and stuff.
Yeah.
Like Shaq is the nicest guy in the world, bro.
Yeah, he is. I like him a lot. Yeah, I forgot about Michael Dokes, and you know what? I can't believe I forgot about this one. Tony Tubbs, TNT Tubbs.
Hey,
I know his cousin. Yeah, I went to school with his cousin.
Went to school with his cousin, really? Wow.
Yeah. Jarvis Tubbs. I went to school with him, man, and that's Tony Tubbs. Yeah, he's Tony Tubbs' guy, man. I couldn't believe that, man. That's right. Tony Tubbs. We always forget him. And again, world champion, heavyweight champion of the world. Ohio, son. We got them all.
You guys can't win anything in football, though, right?
Yeah, we're working on it. I'll tell you what, we're working.
How many titles do you have? You have 2 basketball titles, 2? Did LeBron win 2 with the Cleveland or 1?
He won 1. He won. I
One,
think
right?
they only have 1, I believe.
Only 1.
Yeah, only 1.
You know how many the Celtics have?
I don't know how many.
I believe it's 17 now.
17.
Most
Well,
in,
the league,
most in,
that was
most in
way
NBA
back in the day.
most in NBA history. We won it last year.
That was like way back in the day, though, that they really won. You know, they didn't.
Bruins. What about Tom Brady and the Patriots? What about that? This is truly title time.
Brady's from Michigan. Brady's from Michigan.
He's got a nice house here, man. He's got a nice house out here, man. Barack Obama has a house in Massachusetts, in Nantucket.
Yeah, have you been there?
Martha's Vineyard, actually.
I thought Martha's Vineyard was in New Hampshire.
No,
it's in Boston,
Massachusetts.
Is it nice over there?
Yeah, he owns an $11 million mansion in Martha's Vineyard. He's probably here he's going to the DNC, but he spends the summers here in Massachusetts, Barack Obama.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket, very nice, very expensive.
Pretty nice.
Yeah.
All right.
They're islands. We have islands like right off the coast.
I had always heard a lot about it, but I've never seen. I've never seen them or looked into it or anything. But I know like a lot of like stars and stuff go out that way.
Yeah, I think I've been to Nantucket once in my life. I went there when I was a kid. Yeah, that's way out. That's way out there on the coast.
Tony Yayo says the Celtics won most of their titles against white guys.
Please show some respect.
That's one. What was it? That the Jordan LeBron debate is one my son and I have on regular. Well, who's better, LeBron or Jordan? And I always tell him,
he's not telling you LeBron's better than Jordan, is he?
He's telling me LeBron's better than Jordan.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's what I said too. I was like, come on. But that being said, if they were to have a one-on-one in their prime,
I think LeBron would win.
Yeah, I think so too.
I
think he just would. I think he's just bigger, stronger.
I think he would win. Yeah,
gonna be faster. Yeah, it just is. They don't make them slower when they get old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The time goes on. They don't make the cars slower. They make them faster.
LeBron's a great athlete.
September 3rd on ESPN Plus, the Tuesday special, baby, the 7 a.m. special. Naoya Inoue versus TJ Doheny, 12 rounds for Inoue's undisputed junior featherweight championship. There you go. Yoshiki Takai versus Diago Iga for Takai's WBO bantamweight title. And that's going to be in Japan. Then after that, September 7th, nothing. I don't even know where that is. Some chick fight. I don't know. In New Zealand, nobody cares.
Women's boxing is back on the map, man. You put women's boxing back on the map. You did.
You guys can thank me for that, by the way.
You did.
That's
You've
right.
turned over a new leaf.
New leaf. Or new Khalif. Aha. See what I did there? You see that? That was good, wasn't it? Come on. That was off the cuff. Right? And then September 14th, the big one. For all the marbles. Canelo Alvarez versus Edgar Berlanga. I can't even say it with a straight face.
You can say it with a straight face. Yo, did you hear what's his name? Joe Tessitore shitting on the fight. He was like, and then what's his name? Bradley's like, yeah, Benavidez had to go up to 175 to get fights. And then Kriegel goes, what do you mean? He didn't fight no one at 168. These guys were shitting on fighters last night. It was hilarious.
I tell you, I'm not even excited. I'm a little bit, after seeing their press conference, Berlanga did the right thing and he sells the fight. He did the right thing because he gets people interested in it. All right.
Mike Montero convinced me that fight's going the distance, and I'm going to bet the decision prop in that fight.
Yeah, I don't see why it doesn't. I don't see why it doesn't. He hasn't knocked anybody out since when?
Yeah.
Who's the last guy he knocked out?
I think Caleb Plant, right? When was that? Caleb Plant. Was that 2021?
I don't know.
When was the Caleb Plant fight? It's been a while, right?
Been a minute. The undercard there, Arislandi Lara versus Danny Garcia for Lara's WBA super middleweight title. Oh, his WBA super middleweight title, not super middleweight, super middleweight title. I hate the WBA.
Yeah,
and that's such a lousy fight. is such a lousy fight. Both those guys, I'm surprised they're both still around. Caleb Plant versus Trevor McCumbee. This is why it was delayed. I think it was Trevor got a cut or something like that.
Yeah, he got hurt. He was hurt. Yeah, he was hurt.
And then delayed the fight or whatever for the vacant WBA interim super middleweight title.
Interim titles drive me up a wall.
Yeah. And then Raleigh Romero versus Manuel James, 10 rounds, junior welterweights.
The card itself isn't great at all either.
No, I would not pay for that card.
And you're telling me the UFC you think will outperform it?
I think it will.
Yeah.
I really think it will. This is Prime's second pay-per-view, I believe. Or maybe it's their first.
No, they did Tank versus Tank did a pay-per-view this year. First Frank Martin, I think. And
That's right.
Was it that David Benavidez versus that was on the same card. So I think the Tank was the first one, I think, this year. I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
No, and didn't Canelo fight in May too? Who did Canelo fight in May? What's his name? Munguia. So we had Munguia with Canelo, and then we had Tank versus Frank Martin. I think this is the third one, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's see. He fought Munguia.
Oh, Fundora versus Zhu was the first one. Thank you. I am a leader. I forgot. Gee, I'm forgetting about all of them. Yeah. So there was a couple of them.
Yeah.
Not a lot. Not a lot of shows, but there was a couple.
Since 2022, and he fought Caleb Plant in 21.
21, okay.
But since 2022, after the Dimitri Bivol fight, he's fought Triple G for the third time, which was a complete mismatch. Nobody was calling for that fight. John Ryder, Jermel Charlo, Jaime Munguia, and now Edgar Berlanga. Good fighters. And if any prospect took on those fighters in that, oh yeah, absolutely. They're going to be, but you're talking about Canelo here, supposedly one of the best fighters on the planet.
Yeah.
We want to see him fight the best. That's what it is,
See him fight the best. That's what
and
people want.
not really what he's doing. Let me bring Robert on here. Robert, you're live.
What's up, Bobby?
Hello, guys. Okay, let me correct some things here.
Oh,
Here we go with the
what do you
fucking
mean
fact
correct
check.
some things?
Here we go with the fact check.
Yeah.
Well, you guys want to know how many, so I want to make sure you have them correct. I'm not trying to correct you, but I'm going to point it out. Prime Video has done 4 pay-per-views.
We just said they did 4. We just said they did 4. We corrected ourselves.
Okay, all right.
We corrected ourselves.
Calm down, Joe. Calm down, Joe.
I thought he said calm down, yo.
Okay.
You a freaking prescription of Xanax telling me to calm down? Go ahead.
And Boxing's won 18. Boxing has won 18 titles, not 17.
Uh-huh.
This is number 18 that they won this year.
No, it's not. It's not 18. It's 17. Let me Google that. I have to fact check this.
No,
I say there's a couple of people in the chat said that
Lakers
too.
have won 17. Boston has won 18. So I have to follow this.
Many
stuff,
championships
so I know.
have the Boston Celtics won.
18. The Lakers have won 17. So
The Boston Celtics have won 18.
I told you it was 18. I told you.
I told you
it was 18. Go ahead.
He doesn't like it when I'm right. Anyway.
From Boston.
And another good guy that treats kids very well is Steph Curry. Steph Curry never turns down.
Cares about that. This ain't romper room.
Or anything.
Forget about them kids. Talk about the fights.
So, all right.
I do like Steph Curry, man. Tell him, Robbie.
As far as the fights go last night, the one that has the brightest future is that Bill and Mason. He's gonna be something at 135 or maybe even 140.
Who'd you say was?
Abdullah Mason.
Where's he from?
Abdullah Mason.
Yeah, where's he from?
Ohio.
Yeah, tell him again. Ohio.
From Cleveland, Derek.
What's that?
Cleveland.
Yeah,
He's from
Ohio,
Cleveland.
son. Title town. Let him know.
Which means he's in Browns country, not
Will
Bengals.
the boxer Abdullah
Ohio,
Mason become a world
son.
champion?
It's all title town. The suck
Okay,
eyes.
all right.
The suck
I do not have enough information about that person to help with your request. I am a large language model.
What are you doing over there?
Oh my
I wanted
God.
to ask my
I know
AI
what he's doing over there.
program if Abdullah Mason would become a world champion. They said they don't have enough information yet.
What's the matter with you?
Just trying to.
I'm telling you, he's going to become a world champion. That's all you need to know. You can take that right to the bank.
And
Won money on the Izzy fight last night.
as far as Christian Mbilli goes, I want to see him fight Jaime Munguia next.
That's a good one. That won't happen though.
That ain't going to happen.
That ain't gonna happen.
De La Hoya ain't letting that fight happen.
That ain't
Well,
gonna happen.
yeah, because yes, it will. Yes, it will, because Jaime Munguia is now a top rank guy.
Oh, is that right?
He signed with Top Rank.
Oh,
He
that's
let
right.
him
He's signed with
go?
Top Rank now. He's not with Oscar anymore.
Wow.
Oscar
I
let
didn't
him
realize
go.
that.
That's why on the 20th he's on an ESPN card. He's now with Top Rank.
Oh, I gotcha. So Oscar let him go?
So yes,
What a
he will.
douche.
Yeah,
He
Oscar
cashed him
go.
out. He cashed him out. Wow.
So yes, I think the next fight after Munguia has his fight in September, I think the next fight for the two of them will be against each other.
Let me tell you what. Let me tell you what the biggest fight Canelo can have right now is. Beeb,
Say that one more time, Eric. I'm sorry.
who's the biggest fight Canelo can have right now? I'm gonna tell you who it is.
Terrence Crawford, right?
De La Hoya, son. De La Hoya. Have you seen those two are always beefing at each other? He hates Canelo.
Do you want De La Hoya to get put in the hospital?
Yes, yes, I do. I would not mind seeing it.
Absolutely.
I would pay for that.
Absolutely.
I would pay
So
for that
sadistic
fight.
of you to think that.
That's how I do.
Wow. Robbie,
So I
would you
do.
want to see Canelo
Hey,
fight
Oscar
Oscar De La Hoya,
deserves-
Robert, would you want Canelo to fight Oscar De La
Yes,
Hoya right
Oscar
now?
De La Hoya deserves to have the crap beat out of him.
What?
Wow, that was kind of taking it too far, man. I just said he,
Yeah.
he deserves to lose and get knocked out and stuff like that. I didn't say all
You know
that.
how he turned his back on Triple G? He wanted to see Triple G get hurt. He used
Yeah,
to love
he
Triple
sure did.
G,
Yeah,
and
as soon as Triple G went to the zone, Robert
Then
was
he-
off the
then he
Triple
hated
G
him. Then he
train,
hated
son.
him.
He was off the Triple G train like with a passion too.
He had a
was
couple
done.
shaky performances, and now Robbie's like, I hope he gets hurt. I hope he gets hurt in there.
Well, look, another train I will no longer be on as long as he continues doing what he's doing is Canelo Alvarez.
Wow.
Are you
He's
jumping ship on Canelo now?
cherry-picking
Not a
his
big fan of the
opponents now.
Mexicans, huh, Robert?
Not now, not Canelo.
You
My
know,
God,
the Mexicans,
He's
boy.
gonna-
Yeah, you don't
Okay.
like them.
come on. That card that you read is pathetic, and who's going to pay $90 for that?
You, son,
You're
that's
buying
who's
it.
gonna pay for it.
You're
Are you
buying
buying it?
No, I'm not.
Well,
The
Mrs.
next
Herrick
one I'm
said-
going to buy is on the 21st when Anthony Joshua fights Daniel Dubois.
Is that a pay-per-view?
That's a pay-per-view.
I'm not
too.
buying the one.
That's crazy.
Yes, that is.
Yeah, did you see? You remember a couple of weeks ago we did this where we had a fight that was on pay-per-view and we took all the numbers from that fight. I think it was a Terrence Crawford fight. And we took the numbers like it's $80 here,
Right,
$20 in England, $20 in Australia, $20 here.
right.
Why are we getting
Right.
gouged over here?
Robbie was
Right.
telling me that, wasn't it $90? Robbie, who was charging $90 for that
Yeah, it's
Terrence
gonna be
Crawford
$90.
pay-per-view? Who was charging that?
Oh, that was ESPN Plus. It's
Yeah,
only
ESPN Plus was
DirecTV
charging
charged
$90 for
80.
that fight.
$90?
charged
Ridiculous.
90.
I don't understand that. Like I said,
Yeah.
man, why are we always getting gouged? Like they get $20 pay-per-views over, overseas and everything like that. Mexico, I don't even think Mexico pays. They just, I mean, I remember, I don't think they have
No,
pay-per-view
Mexico,
in there.
They don't
Mexico
have
gets
pay-per-view.
it for free, man.
Yeah.
They don't have pay-per-view.
Robbie almost said yes emphatically. Yeah, I don't understand that though, man. I really don't. I don't. But do you think, honestly,
Yeah.
though, the biggest fight for Canelo right now isn't
Gotta be Terrence
B-ball?
Crawford.
No, I'm telling you, it's De La Hoya.
You think it's De La Hoya?
I'm dead serious. Dead serious.
How could you even want to see that at this point? The guy's, how old is De La Hoya? He's almost 50.
Who cares?
Jesus
He's a loudmouth too.
Well, let's find out how old he is.
Wow. Robert's out for blood today, isn't he? That's cold blood. I just want to see a good old-fashioned boxing match. But Robert, you seem like you're out for blood with De La Hoya.
Oscar De La Hoya is 51 right now.
Wow.
You want to see a 51 year? You want to see a guy that's older than you box Canelo Alvarez? Just think of yourself in there with Canelo Alvarez. How would you do?
Oscar De La Hoya can fight Canelo.
I would check that fight out. I got to be honest. Everybody loves a good train wreck.
Tyson can fight Jake Paul. Oscar De La Hoya can fight
imagine if
he's right. He's right. That's 100%.
Yeah, imagine if they did do an exhibition though. How much money that would generate?
That's what I'm saying.
It probably would do good.
Biggest, it would be huge.
I got to go take a shower after the show. You're even convincing me.
By the way, November 15th is the Tyson Paul fight.
Yeah, who cares?
Buying that, Robert?
No, I don't have to buy it. It's on Netflix.
Is it free on Netflix?
Oh, was it free?
It's free on Netflix.
Oh, yeah, I'll watch it then.
If you're a Netflix subscriber, you don't have to pay anything.
Yeah, I would check that out. All right, Robert, we're gonna put you back on hold. We'll bring you on in a little bit, maybe not.
All right, see you guys.
All right, man.
Get lost.
917, you're live.
What's going on, guys? How are you guys doing? Ralph from New York.
Ralph, what's going on?
What's up, Ralph? How you doing, brother? You excited for your man Berlanga?
Hell no, man. I don't want to.
Wow, you're disowning your man from
just had a question.
Your man from New York.
Say that again.
You're disowning your man from New York. You can't do that, can you?
Berlanga.
Man, that's the last fight I would want to watch. You know, no one vouches for Berlanga in New York. Only Fat Joe vouches for him. Like this is ridiculous, man. But I got a question.
I can't even get a cosign for you.
How many pay-per-views do you think this? How many pay-per-views do you think this fight does?
600,000.
Like
Hell,
2 to 300,000. If that.
If it does over 350, I'll name my firstborn after Berlanga.
Whoa, buddy!
I'll tell you that. Yeah.
What?
But no. Yeah. Did you guys watch the fight last night with the commentary by any chance?
No, I caught it without the commentary, honestly.
Okay, because I seem to believe that Tim Bradley's commentary might have had an influence on people wanting the fight to be stopped. Which, with that said, Bradley's fight versus Provodnikov, there's a good argument that fight should have been stopped, and he was out there pretty much trying to vouch for that fight to be stopped early. But at the end of the day, you know, I understand you guys have a good opinion or, you know, on stopping that fight early, but I think the fighters have a good say on what happens. But with that said, honestly, I don't see Mbilli as being a really good contender at 168. He's wide open for a lot of shots. Derevyanchenko, you know, is an old 38-year-old guy with one arm, and if he couldn't get him out of here, I know that he's a good bet, but at the end of the day, you know, he should have been able to take him out if he was really, really much of a contender. But I don't know what you guys think.
Derevyanchenko's a tough fighter, man. You know,
he's never been stopped before, bro.
He's never been stopped. He's a tough fighter.
He's been in there with killers.
And not to mention, like I said, man, and he tore his bicep in the 4th round, and to finish the fight, let alone, you know, whether he won or was competitive or whatever, but just to finish the fight with that injury, he's a tough dude, man.
I guess my only argument against what your opinion about the fight should have been allowed to continue was Bradley didn't have like an injury. This guy had an injury. Yeah, he was basically fighting with one arm.
Yeah.
You know, that's a tough ask to have someone fight with one arm, you know. But I guess Gary Russell did it. Gary Russell did it against Mixeo, so it has been done before.
Was that confirmed that it was a torn bicep? Because
I read that it was a torn bicep.
Yeah, I think.
No, I don't know if it's been confirmed.
Yeah, I didn't see the
medically.
medical report, but it was reported as a torn bicep.
Because what it looked like was like the ref, like right before one of the rounds was about to end, he kind of stepped his hand to prevent them from punching as Derevyanchenko was throwing a jab, and it looked more like a hyperextension of the elbow. Which,
okay, I don't know.
I mean, it's still an injury at the end of the day.
Yeah, I don't know.
But that's what it looked like as opposed to a torn bicep.
Well, hopefully you're right, and it's maybe an extension versus a torn bicep. I know the torn biceps are.
Torn bicep sucks.
Yeah, that's a tough injury to come back from, man.
Yeah.
But that's my call, guys. Keep it up.
All right, man.
All right,
Thank
brother.
you so much, Rafa. Raphael from New York. All right. All right, let's get to the news and rumors here. Not a whole lot here, but figure it out here. Crawford doesn't seem to be interested in fighting anyone but Canelo, Beeb. So Crawford, according to Turki Al-Sheikh, responded that he only has interest in Canelo Alvarez. Does Crawford have any big options for a big money fight? Because that's what he's looking for. He's looking for Canelo money. I get you. There's only one way to get that.
Yeah.
And I don't think he has any big fights. He's not a major star. And it's no fault. I mean, listen, man, it's just some guys got it. In order for you to land that Floyd Mayweather, Oscar De La Hoya, a lot of stars have to align.
Excellent point. That's correct.
And it's not just, if you're talking physical ability, it's one thing, but you're also talking about personalities. You're talking about, get people to like you or get people to hate you, one of the two. But if they feel indifferent about you, it doesn't mean you're a bad fighter. Again, Terrence Crawford could be, pound for pound, the best fighter out right now, him and Inoue or however you want to do him.
However you want to slice it up, yeah.
But he's definitely not Madison Avenue. He's not the most popular fighter out there. Yeah. You don't see him in any commercials. You don't see him on Dancing with the Stars. You don't see him.
Ray Leonard's doing commercials still. He's doing commercials for Skechers, and this guy's retired.
Sugar Ray Leonard, him and De La Hoya were probably the biggest stars. I mean, when you think about boxing, crossover stars, those two, right? Even Roberto Duran was doing commercials back in the day.
Right. Oh, excuse me,
him and Sugar Ray.
Seven Up.
Him and Sugar Ray. Yep. They were both doing commercials back in the day,
Feeling 7 up. I'm feeling 7 up.
God, how old are we, Beeb? My God.
That was a great commercial.
I know. The fact that we remember that, though, is like, it's like, man.
Marvin Hagler did the Old Spice commercials, too.
That's right. He sure did.
Yeah.
Would you remember that whole thing with the 7-Up commercial with Ray Leonard and Roberto Duran? That's when they had their kids there. They had little Sugar Ray and they had Duran's kid.
You know what Leonard said once? He goes, because he had such bad blood with Duran.
Yeah.
He goes, I was so worried that he was gonna do something to my kid, say something nasty to my kid. Yeah. And he goes, and he couldn't have been nicer to my kid. I was so happy.
He said he couldn't have been nicer on the set, couldn't have been nicer to his kid. Yeah. Everything was good, man. He's just a business guy. It was just business. It was part of, and I think those two really, those two really.
Too, you see Duran now, he's like the sweetest man. You know what I mean? He's like,
no way. If you met that dude that you're believing these stories about him knocking out horses and stuff, how can this guy, but you see him back in the day, he was an animal back in the day.
Yeah, he was a mean guy back then. I guess you have to be sometimes to be successful.
Well, I mean, and where he grew up too. Instinct. I mean, Panama and stuff like that, where he grew up wasn't an easy area to grow up in. So, man.
Oh, yeah.
Does Crawford ever speak? Evans goes, does Crawford ever speak for himself? No, and I think that's part of the problem, is he's not that outgoing, outspoken guy. You know, he happens to be the best in his sport, but he's not the best celebrity. He's not on TMZ.
Here's the thing too, Eric. He's starting to do a lot more media now, doing a lot more podcasts. He's on YouTube a lot now.
It's great, but he's 37.
But the problem is did he start too late doing all
this? Yes, because he's 37.
Remember we used to say that before? Like,
yeah.
What's going on here?
And even with Floyd really didn't become a crossover star, honestly, until Dances with the Stars, when he was on that. And he said in an interview, he said, I got like 80-year-old girls coming at me, 80-year-old women coming at me saying, oh my God, I saw you on Dance with the Stars or whatever.
And WWE.
And WWE. Those are two big crossover platforms there.
Excellent, yeah.
Those are two big crossovers there.
TF was on WWE too.
Who?
TF, Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury. That's right. Tyson Fury had a match.
He
had a match.
Huge Netflix special.
Yeah. Again, he's a crossover star. He's not as popular as De La Hoya and Sugar Ray, I don't think.
No, not in America. No.
Yeah. But yeah, and again, he's got that crossover, but Crawford just doesn't have that, man.
Usyk's doing a movie, I think, with I'm trying to think who he's doing a movie with. He's doing an MMA. He's going to be doing an MMA movie with The Rock. Usyk's doing a movie with The Rock. Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's like a MMA movie, and him and The Rock are doing a movie together.
That's the not Mark Coleman. It's not Mark Coleman. It's Mark. Is it Mark Kerr? The wrestler. It's the Smashing Machine is what he's doing.
Oh, okay.
It's about Mark Kerr's life or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Iceman says Pacquiao's a big crossover star. Even in America, everybody.
Can you imagine how popular Pacquiao became in America too?
How crazy is that?
Yeah.
You got a guy here like Pacquiao, and
it was a lot of the Hispanic fans loved Pacquiao. Like they
adopted, the way he fought. And they really did, especially after the Marquez fight, yeah.
Yeah, they loved him in Vegas.
They do. They do, man. Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor's a great example of another crossover star. Now, Gavin Ghost says Bud was on SmackDown twice. I remember that. Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
He was.
But again, was he in the audience? Was he involved in what was he involved in? Again, Tyson Fury. Yeah, Tyson Fury had that match or whatever, and it takes a little bit, man. And let's see, interview with De La Hoya asking about fishnets.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
I didn't see that yet. I gotta check it out though.
It's a good interview.
He didn't deny it though. I'm sure he didn't because he's already admitted it.
You know what he said? He goes like this. He goes, I'm sure every man has once put on female clothing before, just not on camera, or no pictures were taken of them. But I'm sure at some point in their life,
let me tell you something, Deep.
Shop goes like this. He goes, "Oh, I don't know about that, Oscar. Not all of us."
I don't know about you, but I've never tried on females' clothing.
No,
I just never have. You have?
Never.
You put on chicks' clothes?
Never.
Are you sure? Because you got this stupid smile on your face. I got to be honest with you, B.
I'm just trying to envision.
I'm kind of getting that vibe.
Trying to envision. I'm envisioning you with a bra on, and I'm just laughing my ass off. That's what I'm laughing at.
Mike Montero in the chat, and this is when he tunes in. Is when we're talking about wearing women's clothes. What up, Eric and Beeb? Enjoying the show. Have a great night, fellas. Thank you so much, my brother.
Perfect timing.
Oscar's still sporting some Spanx. But let's get back to the topic on hand. So is there for Crawford, though, there's no big money fights other than Canelo. There isn't. Now we got Virgil Ortiz, good fight. Jaron Ennis, good fight. Tim Tszyu, good fight in Australia. Now, that could be the money fight. That could be a big money fight in Australia. Tim Tszyu, Terrence Crawford. It's not Canelo money, though.
No.
You're talking about he wants Canelo money. The only way you're going to get Canelo money is to fight the man himself. That's it.
Yeah.
Unless Crawford goes on a tear and starts beating some of these guys, and he doesn't really want. He's already worked for it, and I believe he feels he's earned it.
Yeah, Canelo said, "I'll fight Crawford for $150 million," and Turkey Sheikh's like, "No way.
Yeah,
give him $100.
Is it worth it though?
No, it's not worth
it. It's not worth it, right? It's not worth it.
But he's so mad that Canelo's saying no, then make it worth his while.
$100 million.
Oh, he said 150, and he wants 200 million for David Benavidez.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen.
That's I told you, Benavidez. I can't wait for Benavidez to fight Bivol or Beterbiev. I can't wait for the Bivol Beterbiev fight number one. But then I can't wait for the winner of that fight. I think it's Benavidez. Crazy. I think Benavidez is the best fighter, man. I really do.
I like Benavidez. I like Benavidez too.
I like him too. That's why I said I didn't care about him fighting Canelo, because to me that's a wash. It's a wash. No, it's not competitive.
I'm surprised you feel that way, because a lot of people thought it was a competitive fight.
No, I don't think it's competitive at all.
David would have won, but I don't think it would have been a walk in the park. But we'll see.
Yeah, Canelo's is cherry picking like Floyd. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Tony P. He's a teacher.
Is he?
He's a teacher in the UK. I respect. Nice. I respect teachers, man. I have a high level of respect for people who teach. People give back to the community. I respect people.
There you go. My wife's a teacher, so there you go.
Well, I respect Lisa. I always tell you good things. Like I respect Lisa.
Yeah, I don't really respect Lisa that much. You know.
Come on, please.
I expect I'll be sleeping on the couch again tonight.
Lisa did when she had us do that show for the kids, and she
yes.
That was really nice.
That was good. Yeah, we'll do that. I think we'll do that again this year too, because I think it'll be.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I did too.
I think you told me Lisa the kids really liked it.
Yeah, they like hearing their name out at the end. That was cool for them.
That was nice.
Yeah. I am a teacher. Tony says he's a teacher and a boxing coach. There you go. All right. So, BB, you want to get your right hand in check? Go check out Tony, man. He's going to give it to you.
Tony P.
Iman Khalif, Algeria's own women's gold medal champion, got a hero's welcome in Algeria. Stop it. You're just a savage. Just unbelievable the way you talk about women, like these broads put their life on the line. I don't understand why you're just,
He says these broads.
What's the matter with you? Show some class. All right. So apparently she got a hero's welcome in Algeria. Good for her. I'm glad. That's what I was wondering, man, because like Algeria is not the most tolerant place in the world, and all the backlash she was getting here. I'm really glad she's not getting that at home, and they're treating her with respect, and just the fact that she won that gold. That's beautiful, man. I love it.
Tony was there. Tony P was at the Olympics.
Wow.
He told me he was going to the Olympics. I forgot about that.
How much? Hey, let me ask you, Tony. How much were tickets to that final match? How much were tickets?
I think he said this before, but I can't remember.
I wondered, did he get them secondhand, or did he buy them when they buy them from the box office, or did he get them from
I don't know if he got third-party tickets.
SeatGeek or something, paid $10,000 for them on I told you when the Celtics were playing in the final game, the championships games, game one.
Oh yeah,
I told you I went over 29,000.
Jesus.
And then it was because I was going to get 2 seats. So it would have been almost 60,000 plus $10,000 for that price for the Ticketmaster thing or whatever, their Ticketmaster fee or whatever. $10,000. It would have been about $70,000 to go to that game.
Wow.
I ain't buying that.
Tony P said
a day. Wow. That's a lot, man. Now, okay, so that was just for boxing though, right? So you get the day of boxing. I'm assuming.
Is that the whole day of events, or is that just for the boxing?
No, that's just for the venue, the boxing venue, I would assume.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
And
maybe clarify.
And he was so there was only a handful of fights that final day. So I wonder if that was 400.
Said he bought the last 2 days of finals in boxing. I saw that.
Jalala wins gold.
I'm not a big Olympics guy, but I guess a lot of people do love the Olympics. That is something that you can put in the history books for yourself. If you could say I went to an Olympics.
That's pretty amazing, man. So $400 a day. So $400 per event. God. So by the time they get to LA, they're going to be about 600. They're going to be about 600. Yeah. 600 per event.
And the next one's going to be in LA, you said, Eric?
Yeah. Next one's going to be in LA. G Money 915 says, do y'all know if it's a wrap for Olympics and boxing?
They don't know.
They don't know. They'll know early. They'll know probably mid 2025 if it is.
They don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah, they don't know.
And then that guy, the guy that's the head of the IOC, he's his contract is up in 2025, and he's saying that's a wrap. So they're gonna have a new person in there. So who knows what they're gonna do? Who knows what the new person's gonna do?
You know, boxing. I mean, they're gonna put boxing in there. I think they're not gonna accept the IBA. IBA has got to get it together though, because they want them to. They want that organization to run it, not the IOC.
I'll be honest with you. I think in 2000, the next Olympics, I think that I think everything's going to be worked out, and I think it'll probably go back to the way it was.
I think so too.
I think so too. Because the war, I'm hoping the war should be over. I'm crossing my fingers, and that will alleviate a lot of the hostilities, I think too.
I'll tell you this, man. When the Ukraine thing started, I said Russia's going to run through there in about 2 weeks. All that stuff you hear about the Russian army and this and that, man, are you kidding me? U.S. I mean, how long do you think it would have took the U.S. to run through Ukraine? A month?
You know what it is though?
It's month.
Yeah, it's all
we would have been right in the capital of Ukraine. It would have been
something tells me though, like they didn't want to like just ravage the country. They wanted. I think they want something. I don't think they want to destroy the land. In other words,
it's already gone. It's already gone now.
Yeah,
they've ruined it, man.
You know, I don't know what the objective was really, like the whole strategy. I know that Ukraine's a mess right now, but
yeah,
I don't know why this was dragged out as long as it was. Same thing with the Palestine-Israel situation, like that thing's dragged on for a while now too. You know, hopefully that's a ceasefire too.
Jose said, is that like $5 drinks and $10 nachos and pretzels? Son, I'm sure it's going to be a lot more than that. Man.
Yeah, probably more than that, bro.
We went to a year ago. We went to the NCAA tournaments. Like me and Antonio, I took Antonio over to Indianapolis to watch the games, the first round of games or whatever. Prices are out of control, like $20 for lunch, like each. You know how they give you the basket or whatever, or they'll give you like a chicken tenders or whatever stupid thing they got. $20. At least you're gonna have to budget $20 per person, period.
Yeah.
Every time.
I actually started getting into the World Cup a little bit. I normally wasn't a big World Cup guy, but I started getting into that a little bit.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, it really is. It's a lot of fun. In fact, soccer to me has always been the best sport because
it's the most popular sport in the world.
You got the entire world who plays it. And then you got you can actually find out who the best is. They got regular teams out there. It's great, man. And then with unfortunately, MLS doesn't have, but Europe has the relegations, where if your team doesn't do well, can you imagine like the Patriots not doing well, and they go back to like say the B League or whatever? They're no longer in the NFL. They've got to work their way back up.
I kind of like that.
I do too. And the team has to work their way in. Yeah. Which is great. And some teams are good, and they're always going to be good, but. Yeah. Sometimes, I like it. And then Nick Ball versus Ronnie Rios is close for October 5th in Liverpool. And that's your guy right there, Nick Ball.
Nick Ball's my guy. He deserves, no disrespect to Ronnie Rios, but this is maybe a little bit softer touch than he's had in these last couple of fights. Raymond Ford and,
But it's a good homecoming fight, though.
Yeah. He had Ray Vargas and Raymond Ford, so you can't keep, going to the facing the iron back to back. Eric is a soccer guy. He is.
He's 7 undefeated seasons.
He's a coach.
That's right.
He's a coach, Tony. He's a soccer coach.
World Cup coming in the U.S. in 2026 will be insane. It will be.
Where's it going to be?
It's going to be all across the U.S. I think the final, I want to say, is going to be in New Jersey, or maybe it's in L.A. It's one of the two. I don't know.
Okay.
But I imagine tickets for that are going to be nuts too.
That'd be nuts too. Yeah.
Yeah. Tickets are going to be just nuts.
That'll be fun.
It sucks though. Like I said, I mean, like Boston, like the Celtics, you're right there in Boston.
Yeah.
You can't afford a ticket. You can't afford 20 grand. You know what I mean? Like the prices are just outrageous.
There's this guy in the city that has floor seats, and this guy owns like half the city.
Yeah.
He gets floor seats. He was at the game. I don't know. You know who Ellen Pompeo is? The actress. She's who was that? She was on that show.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, she's in that. She actually went to school with me, and Google Ellen Pompeo, right? She's an actress. What was that show, guys, that she was in? I can't remember the show, but this guy that from Revere that owns half the city.
I've seen her before. I've seen her a bunch of times. Yeah.
She graduated with me.
Really?
Yeah, she went to Everett High School. If you do the Wikipedia, she's from Everett. And she lives in LA now. And her husband goes to the games with the guy that owns half of Revere.
Did you know her in high school? Did you
I did.
try to holler at her and stuff?
I didn't. She was one of the cool kids.
You dated her? You dated her?
No, Beeb was quiet in high school.
You dated her in high school? Are you serious, dude?
No.
Grey's
Anatomy. That's it. Grey's Anatomy.
That's who it is. That's who it is.
She's a star in Grey's Anatomy. I can't believe I forgot that show. But yeah.
Lisa watches that. Hey, Lisa. Let me call her in here. Let's see what she says. I couldn't even see it. Like, I saw her on the picture and I knew I've seen her before. Do you know who Ellen Pompeo is? Yeah. Who? Meredith Grey. That's what she said. Every time I come home, like during the summer or something like that, it's always on the TV, Grey's Anatomy. And I'm like, I looked at her, I saw her, I was like, oh yeah, I recognize her, but I can't place her. Yeah, Grey's Anatomy. There you go.
What high school did Ellen Pompeo go to?
That's all I needed. Yeah, dismissed. All right. Get my dinner on the table.
Pompeo attended Everett High School in Everett, Massachusetts.
Everett. Carmen Electra went to school here too. She went to school in Cincinnati, I believe.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
So how quick this AI thing is, man. You got to get one of these.
Look, man, Tony Pugilat said he loves Grey's Anatomy. Look, man, I can't get into that show. My wife, Lisa, loves it, man. I can't get into it.
Yeah, I don't
like everybody's doing each other. Every doctor's doing each other like in every possible combination you could possibly imagine. And then they got people coming in with just like, come on. It's just dumb. It's just dumb.
And you know what's crazy? If you knew her in high school, like she was a mess. Like she was like, she was like always like getting in trouble and stuff. She was a nice person. She wasn't a bad, she's a very nice person, but she was just like very mischievous. She always got in trouble.
Our chat is just brutal, man. Like our chat is just brutal, man. Why? Come on, Omar. What's wrong with you? Who's your club team, Eric? I'm a FCC guy, FC Cincinnati. But yeah, I do like the Arsenal. I did like when the Arsenal came into the MLS. That was pretty fun. Yeah, Arsenal's pretty cool, man. I like the Arsenal too. Omar Rodriguez, come on, man. Why you gotta go with
Tony? Why do you gotta disrespect Tony P? What did you got? Did you have an argument over a fighter or something?
He was too.
These guys are so mad.
He's right too. B was blushing by the details. He was like, she went to Everett. Like he. Kind
of pretty. She's kind of cute.
Well, she's been on that show for 20 some odd years. Yeah, I mean, you're on TV for that long. Yeah, you're gonna be. They don't put guys like me on TV. I gotta pay to be on TV. You know what I mean?
She's getting old though. Look at the wrinkles. See the wrinkles. So the Beeb don't have wrinkles. The Beeb don't have wrinkles like that. Look at the Beeb. The Beeb's face. There's not one wrinkle on this face, man. I don't want to brag.
Arian Yuda wants to know if she was putting out back then.
Please. You think I would release that information to the public? This is a family show.
I think translation is Beeb wouldn't know, I guess. All right, guys, that is enough nonsense for today. That'll do it for this edition of Ringside Reporter. As always, catch Joe Habib on X at jhabib1. Find our YouTube channel at ringsidereporterlive.com. And you can find me on X at ringside73. And guys, we will see you next week.